Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? And it's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and we're back at you with another wee video. And today is one of my 5 knives is a collection, and this is one of my sub collections, which I have 6 of these actually, and it's Gunstock pattern, which is a pattern that if you'd asked me a couple of years ago, I didn't particularly like it. I didn't particularly like it for one reason, is that most gunstocks have 2 blades on them. And I'll show you, this is for instance, this is a beautiful Shatton Morgan. I think this is lovely in the worm groove. Just a beautiful, really lovely made. You can see that gunstock pattern. Probably better if I hold it that way. You can see that it's got this is your gunstock on the butt, your trigger handle and the barrel. Well, that's what I look at it as. But it's just a lovely, lovely design of a knife. But the thing for me is, when you have your main blade out, you have another blade in this pattern. And this knife lends to 2 fingers at the front, 2 fingers at the back. So when there's another blade there, it's not as comfortable. You've got this little bit, which sort of pokes into your finger a bit. So to me, it sort of takes away from that, I can carry a knife, I can use a knife like that. That's not the problem. But it's just that I have to think about it. And it's a file and wire tested. This is not a new one, obviously. Shatton Morgan, made by Queen. I just adore this knife. And that blade is beautiful. That clip point is just gorgeous. This is when Queen were at their best. And lovely, not tight walk and talk, but it is a nice, it sounds nice enough for me. The nice thing about this one is it has a full-size second blade. And it has a spay, and you know what I think of a spay, but this spay is the one I type I like. Thinner here, and then it gets fatter to the belly, and you've got a point on it that will poke anything. Do you know what I mean? It really is a lovely tip on it. I just think this is absolutely gorgeous. So the reason I got this was, look at the fit and finish on it. Not touching either, neither are touching. Beautifully made. No faults at all, really. I think, no, there is not a gap in that back spring at all. I've had this for quite a while now, and I just think it's a gorgeous knife. But, these were quite expensive because it was Shatton Morgan, was Queen's higher-end knives. To bring it back down to earth again, here is a simple Rough Rider, but look at that diamond texture. That's what you would get on the stock of a rifle. You've got that lovely rifle that's detailed in there. Just a beautiful, beautiful. I don't know the names of the rifle, I have to say. But it's the Cowboys and Indian ones. So, and you have this, and this is the Rifleman series. There you go. Look at that lovely blade, matte strike pull. Again, lovely spear point, a little bit fatter up the front, which again, I like. So aesthetically, this is every bit as pleasing to me as this. And that knurling is on the back as well. Look at that. For a $20 knife, when they were bought, just beautiful. You have, it's an older one. This is the Rough Rider Horseshoe, which I love, that shield, none of that stupid big R, which is what I collect now, is the ones without the big R. And then you have this blade, because this was a special edition, and this was made for the Countryman's Weekly, celebrating 30 years of now it doesn't give you the date of when they celebrated it from, that I know, but I just think it's fabulous. It's a 2 blade, you have the smaller pen blade, but again, these knives I bought for attraction rather than functionality, because I don't really like or use the 2-bladed ones. But I just think, as collection, to have them in my collection, I just love them. I don't know where it comes from. When you have I just do not like 2-bladed, forgotten what they're bloody called now. Shotgun butts. I just don't like the rifle, that I can't think what the sort of name is. Gunstock pattern. Oh, good gosh, I am thick as champ. So, there's the first 2 that I've got in my collection of 6. 2 lovely knives, 2 completely different price points, but 2 beautiful works of art. and that's what they are to me, is works of art. I'm going to go on now and I'm going to show you another two beautiful pieces of art, and two that you'll not see very many of. This first one is a Northwoods, but this isn't the modern Northwoods. This is pre that, and this was Northwoods when it was owned by Dave Shirley, who owned Northwoods and then sold it on to the new owner today. This is a stunning. That bone is lovely. Now, I believe this was made by Queen. This is before GEC started to make them. Again, you've got that beautiful clip point. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? And that lovely little thin nail nick at the top there nearly makes it look like a swedge. And it has got its own swedge there, but it just sort of joins in with it. It's very sharp, so it's really sharp. You can get a great finger in for opening it up. You're not troubling with that. Beautiful. No rubbing on it. Just a lovely, lovely blade. But again, it's got that small pen blade, which most of them tend to do. But the pull in this one is beautiful. This is Northwood standard as we expect it today, but done by Queen. But this was quite a few years ago. Listen to that snap. Beautiful. Love the butt plug that the Northwood symbol looks like. And again, I think this is what they call the bird pattern, because it's like little bird's feet walking all up it. Could be wrong, which is nothing unusual for me. But to me, that is a piece of work. Look at that. It is just beautifully made. Beautifully made. Gorgeous. And the next one now, maybe going to surprise a whole lot of you. This Gunstock here is a UK-made one. This is an IXL George Wolstenholme made at the Eggington factory here in Sheffield. Still made by hand now, as they always were. This was a special edition. And I don't know how many they made. I think it might have been, or they only made it for 1 year, which was last year, 2024. Whether they have any left, I don't know. But what an absolute belter of a knife. Look at that spear. The point on the spear is absolutely beautiful. And love this rat's tail bolster. Love this bolster here with the IXL at the bottom of it. But look at this birch. And this is like burl birch sort of thing. It's absolutely beautiful. Maybe not as marked, or the design. The front of it just makes that knife. It absolutely makes that knife. So this is a George Wolstenholme pattern, and it's a single-bladed Stockman. And this is what I mean by the 2 fingers at the front, 2 fingers at the back. And you know what I'm like with my fingers at the back? I love them having plenty of room to get round the knife, because to me, that's where you do your movement, and this is where your direction comes from the front to. But this in hand is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Head over to the Eddington group if you want to see if they got any left. I genuinely don't know. But I just think this was lovely. Now, this was expensive, and because it was just a special edition, and it's got the old oil the joints on it, that was very familiar with George Wolstenholme. Lovely. Right up the hay diddle. This was over £200, but to me, it's just worth it. Absolutely just worth it. A beautiful knife, well made. A couple of wee bits of gap in there. Maybe not as well made as others, I may add, but still a stunning knife. And to have one handmade in Sheffield, that makes it for me. Love that knife. Really love it. And it's got a single blade. It's my only single blade. Now, these other two, the other 3, have a single blade with pen blades. My next 2, which are and they're going to be a surprise to this, because the next 2 are my favourite 2. These are absolutely stunning. This one I got from Cal, Gunslinger Cal on YouTube, and he sent me this one as a gift. I absolutely adore this knife. He'd done the research on this. Was from 1910. Beautiful, beautiful gunstock pattern. Beautiful sheath, sheath. I am flipping useless. Oh, I've got a head like Sweetie Mice today. I'm really sorry. There's a reason for it, but it's not an excuse. The crest is beautiful on this. the Federal Shield. Really, really lovely. You can see how much this knife has been used. By the way, the bone has been smoothed. And the back of the bone, it was probably all that sort of maybe darker colour when it came, but just beautiful. And again, it's two-bladed. You have the large pane with a nice point on it as well. I have this razor sharp. This is one fantastic gift. And look at that. There's your quill pen if you want. It looks a bit rough, but let me tell you, the old carbon steel takes such an edge on them. Lovely snap on this from 1910. So, I mean, 115 years old. This is an absolute killer. Look how tight the backspring is now still. And with that snap on it, beautiful smaller gunstock, an absolute gem. And I thought that was brilliant until I got this one. And I think I got this off Slippy. I could be wrong, and if it was from you, I don't know whether he even bought it off Slippy or he gave me it as a gift, or even if it really was Slippy, because I am thick as champ. Like I said, lovely crest to get it out of the way while it's in my head. Gunstock. You can see that pattern, the Gunstock pattern on that. It's a bit harder, but it does have that. The Gunstocks, most of the Gunstocks come down thin. They button out here like a trapper pattern. You have that little middle bit and then down to the bolster. This has small end caps. So this hits two genres. My small end cap collection and the Gunstock pattern. And the Gunstock with a just gorgeous shield again. That sort of Federal Shield. Beautiful. This one has 4 blades. Yes, I've just done a video on this recently, my small cap knives. So you have the pen blade, which is in absolutely fantastic nick and sharpened. And you have, oh, I'm awful bad at getting these out. Oh, it's back up. They're long pulls on these two small blades. You've got just the main pull is just but you have a long pull in this one. I keep forgetting to stretch back to the long pull. But look at the workmanship in that little small blade. It is beautiful. It's just gorgeous little knife. You have a pen blade there, and you have another little pen blade there, or quill cutters, or whatever you want to call them. You could call this a whittling knife, couldn't you, like that? Except it's not a whittling knife. And you said 4 blades, Stephen. Yes, we've only seen 3, Stephen. Correct. Here's the 4th. Look at this. Can you tell what it is yet? This is a grooming. Let me just get this out because, oh, there we go. There's a little cutout at the back here that I still can't get my finger in. There we go. You get it in this, look at that thin little file for doing your nails. You also get the main file in here for giving them a right tidy up and getting them all shaped lovely. Never done it in my puff, but there we go. And that beautiful nail cleaner. I put a bit of wax on the bone here today just to give it a bit of luster, and it hasn't dried properly. But look at that depth in the bone. Does that not get you excited? I love this, and I didn't realize it had this little back piece. For I think a while I was thinking that's an unusual back piece, but I suppose it looks nice anyway. I thought it was a decorative thing up at the end here, but it wasn't. It was just a real special. So you could call that a whittler, but in my eyes, when you've got that, it's got to be a gentleman's knife. That's what it's got to be. A couple of quill cutters, pen knife, and your nail cleaner and file. That is a gem, one of the gems of my collection. So is this one, but this one with an added feature on it. Again, I think the smaller end caps, not necessarily true. I think this might be even earlier than this. It would be interesting if anybody has any ideas when that's from. And these are both made by Robeson. And I'm not sure. I know Robeson don't make the knives themselves anymore. They'll get other companies to do it for them. I'm not sure when these were made, who actually made. It could have been Robeson himself. I don't have enough knowledge in it to make a guess. But if you know, please put it down below. I'll pin the comment if you know anything more about them. And I'll put it up so that my subs can read it and I can read it. So there you go. There's 6 beautiful knives in my collection. With the star of the shows for me is probably these 2 in the centre because of the age of them and the the standard that they're still in. After over 100 years, they're still as functional as the day and hour they were born. There you go. Take care. I'm away. Not too long today. Thank you so much for watching. Excuse my stupidity, but I do it with aplomb. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Cup of tea time.